And we are live. Hello, everyone, in case anyone is joining. I don't think anyone is watching yet. This is just very spontaneous, sort of another open source hour. And I have a special guest with me today, Paul. Actually, I don't know how to pronounce your last name because you always just have Kiwi Couple.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Copplestone, but actually most people just call me Copple. So you can call me
Cool.
whatever you want.
Yeah, I met Paul earlier in this year in February. I think when you guys just started working on Superbase back then, um, and yeah, we then got kind of reintroduced recently when early August, when kind of phase two was in full swing in Singapore again, and we could meet folks for coffee. So that's what we did, and since then, a lot has happened actually, and so Paul just wrote up this nice update blog post. And I thought it would be great to just kind of run through the updates and then do some experimentation with Swagger and TypeScript. So
Mm.
that's the plan. Yeah, maybe do you, Paul, just want to quickly recap the last 6 months?
Yeah, so actually that coffee when we first met, I don't even think we were building at that stage. We were fleshing out the API, but yeah, at that stage we were just going around chatting to everyone. And what we found was everyone loved everyone loved Postgres. But then when we asked them what they're using, they said they were using Firebase. So really,
Mm.
our goal was to make Firebase as easy to use as, Postgres as easy to use as Firebase. So from that point on, we started building the hosted platform. So that's what the 6 months is. So for the past 6 months, we've been building this platform where you can literally sign up. You start a project, 2 minutes later, you've got a full database with full Postgres access. We just are making it as easy to use Postgres as Firebase itself.
Yeah, so
So,
maybe let's actually create a new project real quick. So this is
mhm.
the hosted platform you just mentioned, app.superbase.io. I got my organization here. We're just going to call this Swagger 2TS, maybe. Just going to use the same password I already have stored. And then while this is building, oh, you need to link the latest
The new,
August updates, right?
yes, exactly. Yeah, so we did quite a few releases this month. So my time was mostly finishing YC, and then my co-founder and the rest of the team had just been busy shipping. So this one here, we're building a table view on top of Postgres, and it functions much like Airtable, or these table views are starting to become very popular. So you can literally, even if you don't know how to use Postgres, just get up and running using this table view. You can copy and paste Excel data into it. You can upload a CSV spreadsheet, and or a CSV, and that will automatically generate the columns and input the data for you.
That's great for me because I'm familiar with SQL in terms of getting data out, but the sort of all the admin and setting things up, not so much. So we're going to use the create table feature in a second.
Yeah, yeah. This one, we probably should have done this right at the start, but we had this accidental launch, and everyone was signing up too fast for our alpha, which is a good problem to have. But we literally just had more databases than we could handle. So we've only just implemented where you can invite team members so you can work together on projects. So that's what this one is.
That's cool. So we could collaborate on the same project.
Exactly. This one, actually, so this was a massive one. Yeah, I said that we did a launch at the start of this year. It was kind of accidental. Someone put us on Hacker News. We just got launched. and then the everyone in that was asking for auth. So we spent all of our time at YC just building auth, and then we shipped it really early, but it was missing a bunch of features. So one of them was email confirmations. When someone signs up, you send a confirmation saying, did you want to sign up? Forgot password sort of emails. So we just released that functionality.
That's cool. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, the auth feature, I think that's what got kind of a lot of traction. So combining auth with sort of real-time data and data persistence, yeah, very attractive.
Yeah, so this one maybe you want to talk about, since
yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, so I really enjoyed kind of, it was a good exercise. So kind of Supabase is a set of different technologies. Actually, if we, I think you just shipped the overview to the Supabase GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you have a look at that, yeah, if I could type. Here it is. So yeah, so basically the idea is kind of a bunch of open source tools that build kind of the whole Supabase offering. So I have Postgres here at the bottom, and then Postgres, I think, for sort of most of the interactions for getting data or creating data is using Postgres.
That's correct. And it auto-generates the APIs, so you can do things kind of like a GraphQL. You don't actually end up building an API. It just generates it from the schema.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think what we're kind of coming... Oh, yeah, the client libraries. So the client libraries themselves, again, integrate kind of or stitch together a couple of different things. So the Postgres language-specific client library, the real-time, and then go through for authentication. And yeah, Supabase.js. So it was kind of a nice exercise to kind of dig into the code base of Supabase.js and just understand all that's going on under the hood, and then basically try and take that and create a type definition file for Supabase.js. And I think now in the next step, you're actually working on moving kind of everything to TypeScript, at least for the JavaScript ecosystem. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. All the libraries are inspired by your work being converted to TypeScript, and a little bit of an overhaul on the API as well.
That's brilliant. Actually, we can. Oh, this is now spun up, so we can jump in there in a second. But what I also wanted to look at, if we look at the docs, or the landing page here, in fact, so we have kind of a couple of examples here. So, this is how you get your data, how you, subscribe to a specific data event. But then here, so Node.js and TypeScript support. So the Supabase.js library is actually isomorphic, so it works both on the client and the server. And so here's the example of a Next.js API route. And maybe we can actually just, maybe we should mention the other update is using Supabase.js from a CDN.
Yeah, this one's cool because, if you use something like Webflow, or you just want to use just plain HTML, you can just run it through the script tag. And that's kind of nice because you basically have no middleware. You can just have your database, all the auth exists in your database. So yeah, it just completely removes the middleware. Yeah,
vanilla. Sounds nice. I want either vanilla or TypeScript. That's kind of the two flavors I like. But yeah, so let's actually do this and just quickly spin up a Next.js project. Oh yeah, Next.js Conf is coming up. That's exciting, actually. I need to get my ticket for that. But actually what what I want to do is the docs. Getting started, and oh yeah, I mean, I always copy and paste this, but I guess it's just create next step, which makes sense. And let's just call this next to base TypeScript. And while that is setting up, so what's really cool with Next.js, kind of, a lot of defaults, sort of, all the boilerplate is sort of kind of taken away, and you can focus on your business logic, which is really nice. So in order to, enable TypeScript, you actually just need to create an empty tsconfig file. That's it. And then I think you also need to, so if I run yarn develop now, it's going to throw an error because I also need to add TypeScript. That makes sense. But so now we actually have a Next.js TypeScript project. And Next.js just has populated the whole tsconfig for us. No, not yet. So when we run nextdef, then Next.js is going to create the tsconfig. And so kind of all the defaults are set up for us, which is great. And so what we can do now is we can spin up an API route. Actually, let's just rename. No, let's create a new one. We want to just kind of get a user's their API route. And then let's just copy from here. So then there's a couple of things we need. Yes, first of all, we need to install Supabase. So maybe let's do that. So docs, getting started. Supabase.js. And then, yeah, we have the usage with TypeScript docs here. So the way it works is you pipe in the type of your row, of your data row that you want to receive. If you have nested data, you can do that actually as well, which is pretty cool. So it's almost, like GraphQL. You can sort of get your nested data structure. But does this specific notation have a name, or is it just Postgres specific?
Yeah, well, a Postgres is you're literally just passing there over a URL. So I don't know if there's a name for it. They call it resource embedding,
Okay.
but it functions just like GraphQL.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty neat. But then, yeah, also your type kind of needs to be sort of embedded. Okay, so we now got Supabase. That's great. So what you can see here is we define our type, and then we type in the type into our Supabase query, which then means here we have the typed response. So we could go here now. The body is an array of users, and then we would have ID, status, and username, our type above. Now, in order for that, get this running, we actually need to set up our table first, right? So we want a users table. So here is my Swagger Tots. Maybe that wasn't a good name choice.
I think it's a great name choice, Swagger Tots.
This is cool.
Yeah, that's it's actually a Lottie file. So shout out. It's actually a friend of mine runs lottiefiles.com, and they're really lightweight sort of animations. It's really popular now, created by Airbnb, and he runs this site, which is, as you can see,
And
serves
what
the world.
is it? What is the animation?
Literally called Lottie. It's a spec created by Airbnb. But it's really lightweight. You can do all sorts of things. Change the. They're basically like SVGs, just a bit more robust. You can create them in various things. So
that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
And so your friend created this for you?
No, so that was because so Lottie Files is run by my friend, but then this one is done by Joshin, who you know, one of our team members.
Cool.
We both know the guy, so he created that, and
That's
probably
awesome.
There might be a few more coming.
Yeah, I like it. I could play with that all day. Cool. So, yeah, in case you missed it, completely new project. You go to the table view, which I think might become the default view in a future release.
Yep.
Create a table, and then I guess this is just my table name.
Correct.
And all my users.
Yeah, so this one's quite worth pointing out. The description will become the description in your docs as well. We auto-generate your docs. So you can write whatever you want there. Doesn't have to, you can put spaces.
All users. Sounds good. Users with online, offline status. Let's say that. Then I could. Okay, so this is also new, right? I could upload CSV or paste text. Is text then also comma separated text, or?
It's text from an Excel spreadsheet. So if you just had a spreadsheet, you just
okay, cool. But yeah, we don't have that, so we're starting a new project. So we want primary key. So that is already included for us here.
Yeah.
Then how do I add another column?
So that one, once you've created, you can start adding columns.
Okay. So this is first create the table, adding primary column. Oh, I like the toasts. That's cool. Okay, and then I can just plus here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we want is a username. So username bigger so folks can see. And then I have all the, is that all the Postgres native types, so to speak?
Yeah.
Cool. So for string,
so this one's, even though Postgres gives you all these types, I recommend always using text. For Postgres, it doesn't matter size, the varchar context. So if you've got a string, just use text.
Okay. And normally with varchar, would you have to specify the length?
Yes, but that's not such an important concept with Postgres.
Okay, cool. So text. Should this be unique? Could I specify that it is unique, or is that not possible here?
Not on this version, but yes, you can definitely do it through the SQL editor, but not in the table view right now.
Gotcha. Oh, we got an error. Okay, not sure what happened, but I mean, it seems to be created.
But if you give a refresh, does it?
Let's see.
See if it sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, still there. So
that's good. Oh, and the text. That's a nice. Is that an icon or a?
Yeah, that one I think is a feather icon.
That's cool. And then, okay, username and then status. And it's technically an enum here, but then would we also map this to text?
Yeah, that's correct. Well, this one, actually, you probably want to do it through an enums, right? So,
Yeah,
and you want it to come out in your Swagger. So in this
true.
case,
Should I create it via the SQL?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be interesting. You're going to need to help me here.
Okay, if you click on the Slack clone down the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, now just delete everything but the, so you can remove everything below the table, the public.users. So you can see the very first thing is create type public.user status. You want to keep that. And then you want to...
Oh, the enum, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all No.
Then you want to have an alter table command. So
Gotcha.
it will be, I'll look it up because I always have to look up, but it'll be something like alter table add column. Well, actually, since you probably want to copy and paste it, just go maybe Google alter table add column.
Column.
Postgres or something similar. This one should be fine.
This one?
Great. So that one, yep, copy and paste that. And then below, yep, so make that public.users.
So public is our... the public schema or a namespace, or what do you call
so it's a schema, but essentially it's a namespace.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this was status, right?
Yep.
So status, and then is this...
Yep, user status. Correct.
Do I need the namespace or just...
this one you probably don't because it's sitting inside.
It's unique. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can actually remove the constraint.
Sounds good.
You can maybe, if you want, set a default. If you...
oh yeah, maybe default offline.
Yes, which I think will just be you type in literally default offline.
Good. Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds reasonable. Let's run that. Okay, success. That's good. And so I guess we can now check, and that's a cool thing. Also, you auto-generate the documentation.
Yeah.
And so we can see, yeah, we got a no description provided. I probably could have done that.
You still can. You can go back if you want and create a comment on it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's fine for now. Cool. But so now probably just if we go back, what happened there? And maybe just add a record. And then I guess I need to refresh this. Okay. Got the status now. And then do I need to specify this, or will this automatically be?
No, that one will auto-generate.
So I don't...
you can just put in a username and choose status, and then save.
Let's just say Thor, and well, since we have a default, I technically only need the
That one's strange, but try put a 1 then.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so maybe the default value didn't. Let's see. Okay. Let's try 1. 4, and then this is cool. Okay, I got the enums here. Okay, and that now seems like it worked. Okay, nice.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. And so I think now if we run, the project is already running, but we do need our environment variables. So let's quickly create a .env.local, and we need those two here. Got my cloak on, so I need to. There we are. Okay, we got the Superbase, and then I called it here secret key, just to convey, because it is kind of the admin token. So I think if we go to API, so that's our URL. And yeah, I'm using here an extension called Cloak, which just allows you to hide your secrets, which is cool. Nice. Okay, this is kind of for auth. I guess, is this needed to decode a JWT token, or?
No, you don't need that. It's just if you want to.
Wait, sorry. So this is the public anonymous key that you'd use on the client side. But here, what we want to do is actually we want to get all the users kind of with an admin key, so to speak. So that's a service role, and that's something you should keep secret, because it can access all the data without someone being authenticated, right?
Yep, exactly. It basically can bypass all the rooms, your security rooms, so you'd only use it on a server.
Yeah, and so here we are in an API route. So this Next.js will package this as a Lambda function, and it will only run in the server context. So here we can use the Superbase secret key. But for example, if you want to use the real-time functionality in your pages, so not outside of the API route, and then you want to use the anon key, which then works with the security policies. So that's pretty neat. And then I believe we need to restart our development server. And then we're running on localhost. Let's see. Cool. And so we're on API users. What's happening? Oh yeah, we're offline. Of course. That does make sense. So now if we refresh this here, nice. We got our user. So that's great. But now the challenge is that, so here when we use this with TypeScript, we want to get our results typed with kind of the row of data that will be returned. But as you can see here is I basically replicated my type definition in the file. And so what I want to do is I want to get rid of this and kind of pull down the type definitions from, I think, does Postgres do the Swagger? So Postgres does, okay.
Yeah.
So what we actually can do is, so I think if I recall correctly, it's REST v1, and then we need to pass an API key, which now I think we can just pass the public anonymous key. I looked this up earlier, so that's why I still remember it.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, nice. So here we got the Swagger OpenAPI 2.0, I guess, specification. And so having that kind of gave me the idea, okay, so maybe there is some tool out there that, takes Swagger and makes type definitions out of it. And yes, there is. Actually, let's give those guys a star. So funnily enough, this is actually a really cool product. It's also a Stripe user. What actually was funny, you can see the example here is using the Stripe Open API spec. But so, yeah, what they do is still not entirely sure what they do, but they had this launch a marketplace. What did I somewhere I saw they had they had like this tool to build your like billing schema for like your software as a service. So it's basically like a Stripe a plan builder here. That's the one. So it builds kind of the plan. You can build your plans, and then it just has a nice sort of component where folks can choose their subscription plan for like SaaS products.
That's cool.
But yeah, so they've built this Swagger to TypeScript, and actually you can here reading from a remote resource, so you can actually invoke this with npx without actually having to install or kind of clone the project. So I think what we can just do is let's quickly put that into a new file. And then I think we can just take our Swagger schema here. And then we want to output it into maybe we create a new folder, not file, new folder types. And then we just say types slash, we just say Subase. Oh, no, I actually don't need to save it. Just need to copy it. And so let me quickly do this here. So, okay, Swagger, our location, output here. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty fast, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's nice. And then types, we got a new file here. So now we have definitions interface with our users. We even have here the comments, right? Because they are
that's cool.
In the Open API spec. Note there's a primary key. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty cool. That's exactly what we want. So what we can do now is we can import. Is that the default export? No. So we can like this from apps here. Okay. And then now, I think since we have kind of the interface, well, let's stick around definitions users, and then I think we can pass in definitions like this, I think. Yeah. And so now we have, automatically our, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I mean, it just works. I mean, I guess that's a nice thing of like open source and standards and
yeah.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's
cool.
very
Yeah,
cool.
I think
so. Obviously, putting that as a dev dependency in a script, you could just run it anytime you want to update the types in your project.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need it as a dependency, right? Because you can run it via npx. So that's pretty cool. So I think what I was wondering, and I'd love to get your thoughts on that, because I want to add this to the docs. But I'm not sure. So what I did is I added the usage with TypeScript to the getting started docs, because kind of with initializing, I think it makes sense there. But for this specific one, do you think it makes sense to, can I create like a sub page or?
Yeah, I think now, since there's going to be some specialized TypeScript, then it might make sense to create a page down the bottom with TypeScript, or in the bottom of the library. Yeah, maybe here where it just calls out above runtime, below stored procedures.
Oh, just a named TypeScript, like a menu, sub-menu, or?
Even just one whole page under the library. Yeah, under there, maybe. The thing is, I'm just actually overhauling now, because of the community coming in, all the different languages. I'm trying to piece together what is the right documentation API spec for covering all the languages. So actually, it will be a bit temporary. So you feel free to actually chuck it in, even in the getting started. It could be fine as a section underneath here.
Okay.
And at some point, it's going to get overhauled and
pulled
added
out,
to Python and everything soon.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I think some folks are working on a Python client. Is a C? Did I see a .NET or something?
We've got a C#. We've got Python. There's a lot of. We've got a issue where people can sort of vote for everything. So I think there's a little bit of Rust. Likely for ourselves, we might implement a Go one. So at the moment, we're focusing solely on JavaScript and TypeScript. But pretty soon, we'll move into some of the other libraries as well.
Yeah, I just posted this in the chat. So if anyone wants to vote for their favorite language, Kotlin, yeah, Ruby, Go, Dart, pretty popular. The whole Flutter community is fluttering in. Oh, Julia, with a picture, nice. I don't even know what Crystal is. That sounds like could be a drug. Oh, it looks cool though. Ooh, you can spin the crystal. Okay, that's cool. Very interesting. But okay, let me. And you're very welcome to drop off at this point. I appreciate you staying up so late and joining for the update. What I'm just going to do now is just kind of chuck a PR your way with that documentation snippet, and yeah, but you're welcome to drop off and do stuff in parallel.
Awesome. Well, Thor, thanks for that. I'll be fixing some bugs that I saw on the live stream, so I'll catch up with you tomorrow, and thanks for the PR.
Sounds good. Yeah. Cheers. Speak soon.
Okay. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Alrighty. So what we're going to do now is just add documentation to Supabase. So, well, maybe I actually still need those. So I'm just going to add here within the usage with TypeScript. So let's actually just, yeah, it's an open source project. So if you want to contribute yourself, you can do that. So you can see kind of a bunch of issues here. We actually also, doing some stuff for Hacktoberfest. So if you want to participate in Hacktoberfest, we're going to create a couple issues, kind of some good first issues that you can take a look at. So that's going to be nice. But so now I'm just going to clone this one down. Just gonna go back into Supabase here, clone down, and so this repository is, mainly the website, like the docs, the marketing page, as well as examples. So we got that now. And there. Open it up in VS Code. I think now what I always do is, to find my way around, just kind of take a headline that looks prominent and do search overall. So getting started here, we're writing MDX. And so let's see. Yeah, and so this is H2, and then what we want is, actually, maybe I should install the MDX extension. Yeah, that looks about right. Is this more popular? No, this is more. Okay, let's install that one. I think now if we, yeah, okay, syntax highlighting, nice. And so now what we want is an H3. What does the H3 look like that? Okay, that's cool. It's autogen. That's a term, isn't it? Autogen. Maybe automatically generate. Swagger. Did you say Swagger definition? Swagger spec? What do you call this? What do you call Swagger? Swagger. Specification. Swagger Open API. Oh, that seems so long. We can see. So, uh, space, space automatically generates Swagger specification for your database, which can be used to generate good times for usage with type script. Yeah. Let's see. So this is um, for your database project can be accessed as let's see, what do we call this? In the docs, what do we call this? Reading. Oh, wait, getting started. So we call this the supervised URL. I guess we could say project API key. I should say your project key, your add-on key. Yep, I think that's it. Should I call it supervised URL? Oh, no, I think that's clear. That's clear enough. Okay, let's have a look. That's not the look I wanted to. Wait. Can I not preview MDX? Thought I can. Well, maybe let's actually just spin it up. Let's have a look. So this is using Docusaurus, which is pretty neat. Go into web here. And then it is using npm. Okay. Npm install. And then it's just npm start. Okay, running on port 3005. There we are. So now docs getting started. TypeScript. Oh, I didn't save. Jesus. Oh. Yeah, prettier kicked in. It seems to be fine. We'll have a look at what Prettier did. Maybe actually have a quick look now. Just some white space. Yeah, no, okay, let me roll that back and just for now just disable format on. Just disable formatting for now. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's a bit of a handful. Well, maybe if I go back to how people look at it. Okay, we don't need the automatically. Generate. From OpenAPI. Yeah, that sounds more digestible. Generate database types directly. So, where's the remote? That's what we want. Oop, there we are. Using the open source Swagger to TypeScript tool. Store them locally. Okay. This is bash. And then we just run. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, hey, we got a couple folks watching. Yeah, we're just writing documentation for how to automatically generate TypeScript types for usage with Supabase with your Swagger. Okay. And then this is just the URL from above. And then let's just say types slash. Cool. All right, let's have a look at what we did. Okay, yeah, it's pretty long. But I mean, it is what it is. Should we add the comments as well? No, that's fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, thanks to this person. Well, thanks to many people for this tool. That's pretty cool. All right. Give them a follow. Okay, and then I think maybe add a note. To note that types won't stay in sync. Your database won't typically stay in sync with your database. So make sure to generate your types when after you make changes to your database. Okay. It. All right, we're almost at the hour. Okay, we now have a section. Generate database types from Swagger OpenAPI specification. Supabase automatically generates a Swagger specification file for your database, which can be used to automatically generate. There's a lot of automatically in there. Yeah, let's get rid of the automatically. Swagger specification for your Supabase project can be accessed as well. Your product, okay. Yeah. Open source Swagger to TS tool from remote source. Yep. Tool you can generate. Yeah, npx Swagger to TS. Output types my space. Well, that's a bit long. That is a bit long. Let's just call it. Oh yeah, and then we should probably add an example of how you use it, right? Yes. Uh, generated your you can use okay. And now let's just type script. And we take what we did here. Do we take the whole? Yeah, maybe. Let's double check that it's still working. Loading, it's working. Okay. Offline, but we call it all online. Online. So online should be empty because all our users. I always click on the wrong star. This is the right star. And now table view. We only have an offline user. Let's create another one. I think I have to. We'll see. Online username. Cobble who joined us earlier. Okay, we have to specify it. Would be nice if that automatically counted up. But so now let's refresh that. Nice. So fast, so easy, so nice. Okay. Cool. So that works. Let's copy that as the sample. Save. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty long now, but I guess we'll pull it out in a refactor into, yeah, sorry, pretty small. Okay, generate types. So you've generated your types, you can use them in your TypeScript projects. Definitions, types, superbase. That's what I called it now, right? Types, superbase, yeah. Definitions, users, yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Let's open a pull request. At the changes we made. Well, that's just the package log. Okay, that's unchanged. So we edit, generate. Yep. That's all good. Okay, so now create a new branch. Docs. TypeScript. Okay, let's commit all of it. Ox. Um, and TypeScript gen Ox. Okay, looks good. And now push it up. Yeah, sorry, I have a bunch of aliases that do a bunch of things, but the aliases are on my GitHub. Ah, Jesus, I always opens in the wrong browser. Okay, so yep, what kind? Dogs. Usage with TypeScript. TypeScript. Right. Wait, is that a typo? Or is it just American spelling? Oh, yeah. Okay. American. Anyway, my browser does not like new. Let's include a screenshot. Generating. Okay. Screenshot. Do we have additional context? Well, we can probably just for fun add the YouTube link. There we are. We're live. That's going to be a little bit off. Okay. And that, yeah, that is it. Let's add Mr. Kiwi Man as a reviewer. Labels, documentation, and yeah, I think that is it. Create the pull request. Cool. All right. I think that was an hour well spent. Yeah. So if you want to check out Superbase usage with TypeScript, here we are. Give that a go. And that's it for today's open source hour. It was very spontaneous again, but sometimes you're just spontaneously inspired, and so yeah. If you tuned in, thanks. Otherwise, you can see the recording. And actually, I'm streaming in a couple hours again. With my friend Nick de Jesus. I'm probably butchering his last name, but we are going to add shopping cart logic shopping cart logic to the From Zero to SaaS project. So that's going to be fun. And with that, maybe see you in a couple hours. Thanks for tuning in.